Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Now, I will say that hopefully everything is looking and sounding correct. Please let me know in the comment section if everything is A-OK. We are using my freshly returned laptop. They had to replace the entire motherboard because of issues with it. So now it should be working perfectly, and I should have a much faster computer to do these live streams and do all my new content. Really happy to have that. Was sick almost right after the show last weekend with a stomach thing for the first half of the week, so glad to be feeling better. Trying to make sure to stay healthy, because man, a lot of people that I know and in my office and even friends and family are getting that vid again. It's just like, yeah, it's so many people that are getting it right now, so stay safe out there. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. No more stuff from that, but yeah, it's just like crazy how at least rampant it's getting again, and it's just like, ugh, Jesus. But yeah, everything looks good so far. I hear you good. Thank you so much, Howard. I will get to your question after all the news and apps. So again, today we don't have much news, unfortunately. Just, it's slowed down considerably. There's not much stuff really going on. We're getting some S23 news. That's about it. So I will go over that news, and then I'm going to go over the top 10 apps of 2022 for me, and just kind of go over them. And additionally, I'll go over some games that I've been really into, an additional 10 games as well that I've been really into, that I've been playing throughout the year, so kind of let you guys know about that. And yeah, so let's get into that. So first off, we'll get into the news. Again, really three news articles right now, and then we'll get into the apps in 1 second. So first off, I do want to say that we did get some leaks of the S23s, guys. So we got the S23 Ultras, S23 Plus, and S23. So kind of what we expect. I mean, nothing too much of a difference in terms of it. Same kind of stuff we've gotten in years past. Nothing too stood out to me, kind of thing. But these are the dummies of them. So again, this is basically ideally how they will look. But yeah, simple and easy. So we have it there. Then we have the S23 and S23 Plus. Again, nothing too much of a difference, really. I would say, let me know if anything stands out to you. I would say very flat back on the S23 Plus and S23, and on the Ultra. Overall, still having more of a curved design on it, and again, really kind of continuing what we saw from the S22 Ultra, but with, obviously, it's going to have a 200 megapixel camera. And that 200 megapixel camera is what is going to cause some differences, actually. So right now we are looking at a later launch for the S23 than we previously thought. And part of the reason is because of the camera, that they're trying to get enough 200 megapixel sensors for that Ultra to come out. And the other reason is because right now they are basically trying to get the price down because they do not know what the price will be, if they will have to increase pricing, and if they would, how much of a negative would that be for them? Are we talking about $799, $899, or $799, $999, and $1199, which is kind of what we expect? Or is it going to be a lot different? But that is kind of what we're going through right now. We don't know how much of a difference that price point will be, but as of right now, we do know that it is causing a bit of a delay. They want to put it off to the end of February, it looks like now, instead of mid-February, and then releasing again in the end of February. They will still probably have the announcement. We'll probably get the announcement. It looks like probably early February now instead of late January. Could be obviously a variation on that, but very curious to see how that goes. And yeah, I'm curious about this one, because it's going to be one that I don't know if that many people are going to feel like they should upgrade to it, right? I mean, the biggest thing that I could see as a positive for the S23 Ultra specifically is that the new CPU is going to be much more battery efficient than the previous one. I will say that a lot of people have found that the Fold has a better battery compared to the S22. I traded in my S22, so I cannot say for sure that I was getting comparable numbers at the time, but a lot of people said, the S22 didn't have longevity on their battery life. I don't know if any of you guys have it still. If you guys would agree with that or still say that it has really good battery life, let me know in the comment section. But that the battery life, even though the battery is smaller on the Fold, a lot of people were saying that it had longer battery life because of that Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus CPU. So we think the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 CPU should even have better battery performance on there. So that I would really love to see. That would be something I would think a lot of people would welcome for sure. So definitely would like to see that. And if that's what we're going for, hey, let's go for it for sure. All right, then we have one last thing, and that is the 7A. The 7A is coming around, guys, and the biggest thing that a lot of people are saying is, do you really need a better phone than what the 7A will give? At $450 is the price point to be expected, or possibly even $500, because you're expecting a phone with a large camera sensor, the same camera sensor most likely that the 7 has. So that is really saying something, as it is one of the best cameras on the market, arguably the best, still in low light by far. I would say in low light by far, I would still say it's the top one and arguably one of the best all around cameras in the industry. Then you would have a 90 hertz refresh rate instead of the 60 hertz that the previous 6A had, plus wireless charging, which no Pixel A has ever had, and I, for one, really welcome. Plus IP67, Tensor G2 processor on there. Do you really need more than that? I mean, you're essentially getting most of the things that the Pixel 7 has at that point, and if you're getting in a Pixel 7a, that is honestly why I'm a little bit skeptical that we will actually get all of those things in the A. But if we do, man, will Pixel possibly gain the biggest foothold ever on the mid-range series? So I would be very excited to see if that would indeed happen. But let me know your guys' thoughts on that one. All right, now we are going to be getting to the next one, which is going to be all of the apps. So these are my apps of the year, and if you're wondering how I'm doing this, it is through the My Phone app. I am mirroring my phone, or now it's called the Phone Link app. I am mirroring my phone so I can move it basically and use it just like my regular phone. It's a little bit delayed, obviously, for what you guys are seeing. For one, this is wirelessly connected, so it's not wired or anything like that, but it's just wirelessly connected here. So let's go ahead and go over what I believe are some of the best apps. First off, I have to start off with Good Lock. So Good Lock is just going to be the quintessential app. I would say that if you have a Samsung phone and you don't have Good Lock, it's probably because it's not in your country. Because Good Lock unlocks your phone to be so good. Like, everything about Good Lock improves your phone, from your lock screen, from everything everything you could want to do, from gestures, from the recent apps button. Like, everything on this phone is improved with the Good Lock app. It is so good, and I cannot recommend it enough on how much it improves on. It improves on your split screen. It improves on your notifications. Everything you could think of, it basically improves upon what you currently have on Samsung phone, and it really is just like what everyone always would recommend, I think, if you're on a Samsung device. Next, we have another widget. I cannot tell you how many times people ask me, what is this widget you have up here? It is another widget. Another widget is great because it allows you to have a Google-like widget. but it is far more interactive and you can customize it more than the Google Now widget that comes with Pixel phones allows you to. So even on Pixel phones, I actually choose another widget instead of the standard Google camera. So one thing I love is if I press this clock, it automatically goes to my alarms. If I press the calendar, the date, it goes to my calendar. If I press the weather, it automatically goes to my weather. So this kind of things are really what I love about this app, and it's another widget is the best widget that I would recommend to anyone that just wants a great screen widget for everything you could have. All right, Slick Deals. Slick Deals is the #1 site I recommend for people wanting to find deals. They are customized to you. You sign in, you create an account, and then it learns what kind of apps and deals you are looking for. For me, it used to be all tech-based, but now with everything I've been doing, I see some construction stuff. I see some kid stuff for my kids. So these are all the apps that I am able to see. So these are the ones that I would really recommend for you. Next, we have Google Chat, and I put these in order of the apps that I use the most. So GoodLock is first, and LumaFusion is the least out of all of these 10. Google Chat I use every single day, and it is how the favorite way that I communicate with most of my friends, as well as pretty much most of my family. The reason why is because it is basically Google's version of iMessage. It literally can work with any computer, any whether it be Android or iOS. It's an instant messenger. You have higher quality file sending, all that kind of stuff. Everything you could want in iOS, but it's Google's version. You can do this with anyone, no matter what the platform is, as long as they have a Gmail account. That is all that's required. If they have a Gmail account, you can video chat with them. You can voice call with them internationally for free. You can instant message them, see when they're messaging, see if they've seen your message, all that kind of stuff. Everything you can think of with iMessage and FaceTime, Google Chat has the exact same thing. The only thing is that it does require the other user to have the app itself and a Gmail account, which is why still obviously a lot of iOS users won't necessarily have it, but definitely is going to be something that I would recommend to anyone that, again, wants it. Next, we have SwiftKey. This is the keyboard that I use on every single Android device out on the market. It is just my go-to keyboard. This is better than the Samsung keyboard and Google keyboard, in my opinion. It really is just the better, superior keyboard. I love that I can customize the keys. I love that just everything about it. Like, I can choose exactly how I want it, and it memorizes my typing style, my words that I use, everything that I need it to, very easily. Now, of course, I don't like to share my data with Microsoft, so I typically kind of put it to a minimum at best. This was its own app. It was the top rated keyboard everywhere. Then Microsoft bought it. It is not improved, quite honestly, since they bought it. But it was so far ahead of Samsung and Google that Samsung and Google are still basically ripping this keyboard off with their features because it was so far ahead of everyone else for the longest time that I would argue it's still ahead of them. At least every time I buy a new Samsung phone, I buy a new Android phone, I try Google keyboard and Samsung keyboard, and I inevitably always leave those keyboards for SwiftKey because they're just not as good, just not as great as that one. All right, then this next one is for any parents out there. It is Family Link. Family Link is a very simple and easy to use parental control app from Google. So this allows you to control everything that your kids are using. This is what you want to recommend to any family member that has their phone and their kid's phone on Android. Essentially, this allows you to set parameters and times for them for anything they want, apps they can or cannot download, apps they can or cannot use, a specific time limit on apps. For instance, my daughter's only allowed 20 minutes a day on TikTok. So those are kind of things you can actually set parameters on. You can set parameters per device as well. So for instance, I could allow her to do more time on Chromebook if that is for her homework, but less time on her phone. So maybe I give her an hour on her phone and 2 hours on her Chromebook. These are things you can do. You can also always see where they are too. This is really important, obviously, just for parental control. You just always want to know where your kids are. So the fact that you get to see that is really great. So that is going to be another one that I really recommend just because of everything that it offers to you. Then we also have Google Keep. Keep Notes is the best note-taking app that I would recommend for anyone out there. So with Google Keep Notes, this is how I write my scripts. It's how I write everything that I am working on, every note-taking thing that I'm doing. If I have any note-taking ability, it is going to be with Keep Notes. This is just the best note-taking app by far, in my opinion. Not only because it's so good and that you can like do a writing note, you can do a voice note, you can do a photo note, you can do all these kind of things, but because it is just so dang simplistic. Not to mention that it really goes well with like a checklist note, like every kind of note taking you can do with it, but it's not as annoying as some other more advanced note taking softwares, and I think it's just much better off. It's the one I highly recommend all the time. Another one is the one right next to it, and that is Google Rewards. Now, this one is going to be just very simple. If you want to allow Google to, ask you questions, basically about things that you do, you get free money from Google. Essentially, Google pays you to, like for instance, the other day, I was getting some medication for a family member. So I went to CVS, bought the medication. Today, Google asked me, hey, have you gone to any of these 5 places in the past day? CVS was one of those things. So I said CVS. It said, did you buy something from there? Yes. Do you want to share your receipt? I said, no, I don't have my receipt. And for that survey filling out, I got 50 cents. So simple and easy. Basically, that is what it is to just, it tries to learn you better, essentially, for their advertising. And the whole idea behind that is that you just get money for doing that. So if you want to get free money for your apps, for movies, for books, for whatever, games, anything you're looking for, Google Rewards is a way to do that. Now, it does, obviously, it's going to track you in terms of getting Google to give you more accurate advertising, and if you want that or not is up to you. Because it is Google, I do trust it a little bit more than say like a Facebook or any other platform that kind of has gotten broken into more. Google, I believe, still to this date has actually never gotten their information stolen. I could be wrong about that, but I can't remember it, at least in the past 5 years, which is more than you can say for almost every other company in terms of getting your information. They have kept it more secure than anyone else, I feel. RunP. Now, this one was an interesting one that I will say that a lot of people basically, I thought everyone kind of knew about this, and I recently was with a lot of influencers, and they basically did not know about this. So this one I'll open up just because it's something that really recommend people do. So one, this app is twofold in terms of its usefulness. First off, it will tell you if there is an after credits scene in a movie. So let's go with a little bit older movie. One that's been out for a little while. Let's go with Black Adam. It's been out for a couple of weeks now, so I feel like if you wanted to see it, you would have seen it by now, right? So Black Adam, is there an after credit scene? Yes, you can stop right there if you want to. So you can stop right there if you don't want to know any more details about it. If you tap it, however, it will let you know when the after credit scene is. So the after credit scene is just over a minute. There's nothing after that, and credits roll for approximately 11 minutes. So what this tells you is, oh, okay, there's one after credit scene. It's right after the movie ends. Simple and easy. So that is one thing I really love about it. This is obviously good for Marvel movies. So you can know if you need one after credit scene or two, or any movie that you don't know if it does have one or not. The second thing that this offers is when to use the restroom. And, this is one. With some older ones, usually on the opening weekend, it's fine. But basically, what you can typically do, and they get oh, you have to sign in. That's the thing. Once you sign in, you get basically free ones, but you can get basically when to use the restroom. So this was recently actually perfect for Avatar, which I used it for. So it told me when to use the restroom because that was a very long movie. And so I told my daughter, hey, these are the times you want to use the restroom if you need to. Simple and easy, but definitely can be useful. So that's a really good time. Run P is the app. Then the last app of the 10 is LumaFusion. Now, this app is really, really awesome. I have not gotten to test it out as much as I would like. If you want to see a more deep dive into it, go ahead and check out our friend, Some Gadget Guy. Juan Carlos Bagnell is great, and he has been testing the heck out of this in all these devices. I have tested it out more on my tablet than my phone, but what this is it's a one-time editing software that will allow you to completely edit just like you would on anything else. Like, this software is so good for what it has, and I am just really, it really is impressive by everything that it has here and everything that it can do here. That I really do want to play with it more. But if you had to edit on a mobile device, this is by far the best app to do it in. It was on iOS for a long time, and it just got to Android, so really great for that. And so yeah, it really is a great editing app that I would highly recommend. All right, now before I get to the games, so those were the top 10 apps. Before I get to the games, I did want to let you guys know about Lenza. Lenza, I just thought it's worth mentioning, although I haven't done it. This is the app that everyone was using about a week ago. This is the one where you can make like a comic book, movie, artistry of yourself. So you give it 10 photos, and it's AI that literally makes like hero like, just amazing quality images for you. The thing that I didn't like that a lot of influencers didn't say is that it costs you money to do that. I think it was something like, a monthly subscription is like $7, and you can do like a trial, but then it's very short term and all this kind of stuff. So I never did it. I still debate on doing it or not. I think it might be cool to have, just to have that image, and then you can do whatever with it. You can create like logos or whatever you kind of want with that. So that's why I'm debating on keep it or not. But that is just one thing that I want you guys to know, is that that is the app that everyone's using. So that's why I have it here. All right, now let's get to the video games. And the top two rows are the ones that I most often use. So those are the ones I most often use. All the other ones I play here and there. Hey, 51st Date questions. Look at that. But I will say that these are the games that I currently play the most. So Survivor IO, I pretty much play once a day or once every 2 days for sure. It's just a great time killer game, just great to kind of unwind and de-stress. This has been my game of choice for a while now. Dominion was one that I got into, I got into it like a month straight. It's a great card game. I'll show you some of these games I just don't want to get flagged by one of the brands. But basically, the whole idea behind Survivor IO is that you run around and you try to survive. Simple and easy, but basically that is what you do. There's all these currency and all these kind of games and all this kind of stuff. But basically what you do is you just you run around and you try to survive. That is the entire thing. And you gain power-ups over time, all this kind of stuff. But that is the entire game, is just you run around. This is actually very difficult to play with a mouse on a laggy setup for you guys to see, but that's the kind of premise of the game, just so you guys can know it. The next one is Dominion, which again I really enjoy. It's gonna go sideways actually right now, or maybe Dominion doesn't let me. Some of these games do not allow you to stream out, so I think Dominion is actually one of them. So Dominion looks like it is one of them. It's a card game, really fun. Had a board game of it. Cross Duel is the newest Yu-Gi-Oh game that came out. This one is a 4-player Yu-Gi-Oh game, so very unique. Pokemon Go, often play with my son. He always like, oh, let's feed Charizard. That's my Pokemon, so he always wants to do that. Office Space, great time killer game. It's simple and easy. Neuron is if for Yu-Gi-Oh is basically life point counter. So if you're playing a game of Yu-Gi-Oh, you can do that. Mario Run, another one my son is really into, so we often play that. Anytime he can't do it, he says, "Daddy, do it," and I beat the level for him. Final Fantasy Strike. This one I got involved very early on in the year, but it basically is First Soldier is the whole idea. It's like another game like Fortnite or any of those kind of games, PUBG, all those kind of style games, but it's with Final Fantasy characters, and I found it much more enjoyable than I ever did with Fortnite, just because I love the sword versus magic versus gun aspect. It was a really cool, fun way. Doom Bad, probably one of my favorite games of all time in mobile, to be honest, but unfortunately I think they've taken it off the Google Play Store. Very fun dungeon defense. I have never found a castle defense game as good as Doom Bad. Very curious if any of you guys said, but I never felt to need to pay for anything Doom Bad, which is why I might have not been as profitable and maybe why they didn't continue it. But I never saw the show that it was based off of. But I really love that one. Toon Blast, 3-color, multicolor kind of game. Very simple and easy. Great time waster. 4-player React game. I on a tablet I'll play 4-player, but on a phone, great 2-player thing. If you're ever at a if you're waiting on food and you're like with either your significant other or on a date or something like that, this is a great time waster game for 2 people. 2-player Reactor is the free version, and then 4-player Reactor is the paid-for version. Obviously, the difference is you can have more players. You unlock more games and all that kind of stuff too. But it's really like quick, fast-paced gaming, and it's just fun. I think it's just a really great thing to play. State.io, very much a territory math game, kind of like Risk in a sense, but much quicker. Streets of Rage 4, platforming game that I actually played on mobile for a little bit. Never finished it, but I think I'm going to finish it probably on the Logitech one with a gamepad. It's just much better for that aspect. Burger Shop 2, I used to love this game when it was on PC back in the day. They made it over to Android, so that's simple and easy why it is. And yes, those were it. They kind of, that was it actually. So it flipped over. Those were the top 2 rows of the games that I typically play. All right, guys, that was everything for all that I had planned for you guys. But obviously, now let's get to your questions. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Let me take one sip. Howard, hey, good to see you again. I have a question. Is there a way you can use a Fire Stick on an Android phone and Tab S8 Ultra? So, quick answer is no. The interesting thing is basically if I don't think you can. I will look it up. Actually, I don't think I can look it up because essentially I don't know if you can download Fire OS. Fire OS is the operating system that Amazon works off of. So, Fire TV Mobile. Yeah, so this is just made to work more, or here, let me show you. So the Fire TV app is made more to work with it. So you could see what's on now, but then it plays on the TV, not, it's kind of like to make a queue. So it's not designed essentially for you to have it on yourself, right? But the other possibility would be for not those 2 devices, but an Android device that accepts an external display, or can be used as an external display, which is no Android device regular. So no smartphone can be used as an external display except for a Sony camera. So that's the only one for that. There's ads during the live stream. Wait, during the live stream? I thought that's after the replay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. YouTube's getting more greedy or what? You know what? It might be. I know, like, when I do a regular video, they do auto insert ads. What do you call it? During when I transition screens. So I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't transition the screens that many. Hopefully, if there's a way to manually turn it off, I will for next week. I'm not sure. Again, setting up brand new laptop again, so I'm not sure if something was auto on that's not normally on, but I'll look into that for tomorrow, or sorry, for next week. Oh no, I'm not gonna have one next week. We'll go over the live stream schedule after I answer all the questions. But so I was saying, there is one specific laptop that is, or sorry, tablet, Android tablet that you could use with a Fire Stick, and that is the Lenovo. Oh God, what was that one? The P11 Plus, I want to say, Lenovo tablet P11. Was it the P11 Plus or was it something else? It has an external. No, not the P11 Plus. It had a 13-inch display. Lenovo Yoga Tab. So this one, let's go ahead and show you guys. Oh, let me know if it does another ad. Okay. Hopefully it didn't. Oh my God. Lenovo, seriously, all these pop-ups are ridiculous. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, so this tablet, Snapdragon 870, 2K display, good overall tablet. I loved my time with it when I had it. But basically, the biggest thing is that it has an external, micro HDMI. So this port right here, essentially you can plug in HDMI to micro HDMI, and yeah, then you literally could do a Fire Stick. You can plug in a PlayStation to it. You can plug in a Nintendo Switch to it. I wonder if I can get this for cheaper now. Let me know if you guys want to see a video on this one. This one was a low-key, really cool one just for that feature alone. The fact that you can use it as an external monitor. So let me know. I don't think I ever did a video on it because like the footage got messed up on the way. And yeah, but let me know if you would ever want to see it. All right, switching back. Hopefully no ad. All right. No ad that time, so hopefully we're done with the ads. Maybe YouTube made its quota. I don't know. Let's see. Side loading on an iPhone. What's up with that? So yeah, there has been a whole lot of side loading going on right now with iPhone. So basically, the idea behind it is that there might be side loading finally coming to iOS, but it might only be in Europe. So we'll see. All that it is talk right now. All that it is talk right now. But the idea behind it is that there might be side loading coming to iOS. Essentially, you can get apps from anywhere. And the reason why that's so big is because Apple might get hit with antitrust lawsuits, regulatory, and a lot of stuff coming if they don't change something. And so they are hoping, especially in Europe, where it's more than likely this is going to happen, that they're going to force them to do it. You know, Europe and Apple are not playing nice with each other right now. The fact that Europe is the one that's going to make Apple go to Type-C is huge, right? That's really big. So it's a very interesting thing. And the only reason they're going to do it is because they would lose more money not selling iPhones in Europe than they would be from all the revenue that they get for lightning cables, which is a lot, by the way. I mean, again, the reason why Apple has never left lightning is because they get so much money from lightning. They know USB Type-C is far better. That's why on things that don't sell that much, like iPads and laptops and all that stuff, it's Type C all day because Type C is so far better than Lightning. But when it comes to their most selling device of them all, they're sticking with Lightning because it's more profitable. Until now, where basically they have to decide whether if we sell iPhones in Europe or we take away from Lightning, and the decision is going to be that they are going to switch from Lightning to Type C. It just makes more sense, especially when the fact that the US could implement the same thing, and then they're really just kind of that's what they're always afraid of, is one country or continent implementing something like Europe has been, then that going to everyone else. So yes, it is a very interesting thing. Of course, Android has had side loading available since the very beginning, and it's fine. Like, it's fine. It's completely fine. What Apple and Google don't like about side loading is the fact that they don't get the revenue. And that is, why they've been against it, because they get 30% of any profit that a app makes if you get it from their store. But if you sideload it, they don't get anything. They don't get nothing. So that's a very big thing about it, and one of the big things that, Apple and Google have tried to maintain a stronghold of it. Now, the other interesting thing about this is the timing, I think, because I think the reason why Apple is so willing to do it more now than ever before is because Apple is about to go into a whole nother business that they've never been in that is very profitable. And that is the advertising business. Apple is about to really increase its advertising, and that is huge. They effectively pushed off everyone from iOS on advertising by their, oh, you have to click agree to everything, or you can't, or then they can't track you. And lo and behold, they've been tracking you the entire time themselves, even if you click no for everything else, because when you start the phone, you're agreeing to be tracked. That's how they see it. I can't wait till that gets a lawsuit on against them. But anyway, that is just, I just hate the double standard that they did there, which is what Apple does. But overall, that is the whole thing about sideloading and why you're hearing about it. And, I don't think this would be official till WWDC, which is in June. Maybe it will be sooner than that, but that's when I see this possibly happening. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys think it'll happen sooner because of regulatory, dates that might be coming. But yeah, that's when I see it happening more so. All right. Imagine God of War on one of those games you've been playing. I have been for sure playing God of War Ragnarok. I don't even know how far I am through it because I don't want to look online and see any spoilers. But I am, I'm like the third realm now, I think. So yeah, I think I'm getting through it as much as I can for sure. Let's see. I wonder those people that have the fold better than the S22 didn't see your tips and tricks video. I know, right? Yeah, I need to for sure do that one still for the fold. It's one that I've been waiting on. It's just, oh man. CES is coming up, and I am not only in charge of myself this year, but in charge of the Newegg team that's going. So it's a lot of responsibility, a lot of stuff like that going on my day job. So it's kind of like, I want to make sure they have an amazing time there and are get ready for everything that comes with it, which I've done, for I can't remember how long I've been going for CES. I feel like it's at least 7 years now. But yeah, I've been going to CES ever since I was able to. And I remember the first year I was in media, and then I was able to get media every year after that. And just so many things that I wish I knew early on that I'm just, now I can kind of teach on to others. It's really cool. So that is, it's definitely been an undertaking, but I have a few videos lined up that I should be getting to you guys soon. One is going to be an external monitor that is amazing, that I've had a great time with. That one should be going up tomorrow or Tuesday at the latest. And then I'm going to be trying to get more videos as soon as possible. I just realized that one of my squares in the back that I have here on this side fell. So I need to go ahead and put that back. All right. Yes, a lot of you guys were liking some of the apps right there and all that stuff. What are your thoughts on the Pixel 7 line and the Pixel Watch? So one, I really have liked a lot of the Pixels. The Pixel 7 Pro is, I said it was one of the top techs of this year. Only phone that I would say I liked more was the S22 Ultra. Even though that I went with the Fold and I ended up going with it, I did so because I had a Pixel. Like the Fold does not take as good of photos and videos as the Pixel and as the S22. So I really did miss that camera quality, and quite frankly, if I didn't have that one, I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have gone with the Fold if I didn't have the opportunity to get the Pixel. So that made it a lot easier for me, and I absolutely love it for that. The Pixel Watch is hard for me because of the Galaxy Watch 5 Classic. Um, it's such it doubles the battery life, and the Pixel Watch is a watch that is dying at the end of the day, whereas the Galaxy Watch I can typically still get 2 to 3 days with it right now. Which I just love. Not needing to charge it every night is just so much nicer. I get that, some people will get used to it and they don't care besides that. I love the way the Pixel Watch looks. Honestly, I found that, I don't use a lot of apps on my watch, right? So besides using like the voice assistant, that's the main difference I would say that I use on the Pixel Watch over the Samsung phone. But yeah, it's just like I feel like if I was more into fitness, I might have a thing to say because I don't use I use Samsung's Fitness, Samsung Health. I've always used that one. And it's a really good one, and it's free. I don't have to pay for it as I would. The Pixel Watch gives you like I think 3 months of Fitbit's thing, but then it's like then I have to pay for fitness, and I don't have to do that right now. So it's not interesting to me. So that's the biggest thing I would say for sure for that. Let's see what else we have here. A lot of folds coming out. You think the Fold 4 is the best? It's hard to say. I am so curious about that N2, I will say, from Oppo. Um, Now, supposedly that one might get an international launch, which I'm very excited for if they do. I do not think Oppo is going to be at CES, unfortunately, which kind of sucks because I would love to talk to them so much. But yeah, it's just that is one company that is very interesting to say the least, and they do a lot more interesting stuff overseas than I feel that OnePlus does in the US. So I would really be interested in seeing Oppo and what they have to do and what they're going to bring. But that's the big thing that I'm kind of like, ooh, what's Oppo going to have? And the N2 looks so good. I'm very curious for it for sure. Ricky, what's your daily driver? And are you still on your MSI notebook? So two things. My two daily drivers, because I have one main phone and one secondary phone, and these are them. I have the Fold 4 and the Pixel 7 Pro. These are my two daily drivers. I would say I use the Fold for pretty much everything except for taking photos and videos. That's when I pull this out. I don't even bother with the Fold taking photos and videos just because I don't usually like the quality as much when I see it. So yeah, typically stick to photos and videos on the Pixel. Everything entertainment wise, everything my daily usage for the most part is done on the Fold, unless like say for certain vertical apps like Instagram and TikTok, I do think it looks more complete on the Pixel, so I'll still do those kind of editings on the Pixel as opposed to the Fold, just because it looks better as of what everyone else will see compared to what the Fold gives me. So yeah, and then let's see. Oh, am I still on the MSI notebook? No. If you did miss it, I basically well, actually, I don't know if you might have so the laptop I'm on right now is the Asus Zephyrus G15. This is a laptop that I bought earlier this year. I want to say in September, late at the end of September, I think. I bought this one, upgraded it. It basically has a Ryzen 9 6900HX, I believe, or HS. Forgot which version of it. And a RTX 3060. That was what I wanted because I didn't want to spend all that money. Sorry, we have a spammer. Ooh, thank you, Quiet Storm. You got the spammer just in time. Thank you so much, man. So that's the laptop I went with. Now the laptop started having the Type C ports just not work, so I went back to my MSI, which I was about to sell before that happened. Then basically used sent this one into repair, which apparently Asus's manufacturer warranty goes through Geek Squad. So went to them. They shipped off my computer for 2 weeks, I think it was, and then now I'm done with it, uploading everything again. But apparently, like even the live stream, I'm having some trouble because there's some ads going on. Hopefully, we've had the end of them by now. But yeah, that's kind of what I have right now as of this time. But yeah, so that's what currently I have right now. I upgraded it. It came with 512 gigs of storage. Upgraded it to 4 terabytes because I'm crazy like that. I need a lot of storage for all my videos. And then also I upgraded the RAM from 16 gigs to 40 gigs. 8 gigs of RAM was soldered on, and the other one I put a 32 gig in. So 40 gigs RAM. So yeah, that is what I currently run to do this. And I will say, like, the live stream seems to be running much better than it did with the MSI. Like, very low usage, and like everything is just seems to be running at least smoother on frames per second and everything. At least from those things. Apparently, I need to fix whatever ads came up earlier, or hopefully are not coming up anymore. But yeah. All right. Let's see. What's the best controller for a tablet, gaming, Xbox, Nintendo? Ooh, so I've used a lot of them actually. So I would say I love my PlayStation controller. I do. I really love my PlayStation controller, but I feel like it's not as easy to pair and work with everything compared to Xbox controllers. So the two controllers, I literally have them right here in my drawer. I threw away the Stadia one, unfortunately. So the main ones I would say are, one is the Xbox Elite controller. This one is kind of, I like it because not only because of the controller is good, and it has the paddles on the back, which I love professional ones for that reason. But although I don't own an Xbox, never have owned an Xbox, I like this because if I take this with me, I can very easily connect it to my laptop to game on my laptop. I can connect it to my Steam Deck. I can connect it to my Android phone. I can connect it to my Android tablet. All those things I can connect to any computer or Android device very easily, and it's simple. Just connect it through Bluetooth, and it's good. So that is that is why I really like this one. However, this one's really expensive. You can get a regular Xbox controller, but the Elite is far better and noticeably better to me than the standard Xbox controller. I don't really care for the standard one, to be honest. It's just, I don't know. This was the first Xbox controller I really ever bought. So maybe that's why that I've just kind of stuck with it ever since. It was on sale like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. I think it was like a Black Friday or Prime Day kind of deal. I bought it, haven't looked back since. Great for that. My other go-to one, though, and for a different reason, is the Razer one, and this is the Raiju Mobile. And the reason why I like this one is because you can put your phone right here. So really great that if you want to be able to put your Android device on here. Now the Fold wouldn't fit on there, but like this one totally would. So if I wanted to put, my Pixel right here, can play it, curve it up, and bam, I'm ready to play it. Now I'm putting it at an awkward angle because it would hit the buttons. Although it doesn't press too hard, it actually knows that if it presses too hard, it'll hit a button. So as of right now, when I slid it like that, it didn't turn on or anything like that. But this is a really good one for this kind of gameplay. So if you do game more on a phone, I would say having that little part right there is really nice, and it's just, yeah, very convenient for you. And then when you put it back in, this is what it looks like closed. So really good. Never have had any issues with this one. I like also that this one is made for Android. So you do have a home button, a back button, select button. And you do have either Bluetooth or USB. So if you connect it to a non-Bluetooth device that will work with this. Also, I do like that it has a Bluetooth 1 and 2. So the nice thing about that is you can actually switch to a two different devices always. So I can have it automatically paired to, say, my phone, and then have it automatically paired, switch to the other Bluetooth, and have it paired to my tablet. I like the fact that it can memorize two devices. So yeah, so those are the things that kind of really stand out to me about it. And you can connect through USB for like anything else. But yeah, good overall controller with this one. I would say not perfect by any means, but works really well. And I definitely, again, like that it has back buttons, and on this one it has like these little interesting buttons over here, which again are interesting. I don't know if I really like them, but they're very clicky. But yeah, this would be the other one. So these are the two that I would say are the best that I recommend for mobile gaming. I'll give you some links while I'm at it, just because, you know, gotta make that money. So I'll give you some affiliate links in a second for both of these. All right. Then let's go ahead and see what the chat else has to say. Thoughts on the Apple M line processors for laptops versus Intel and AMD? Would you ever think you using one of the new MacBooks? For me, no. Just because it's funny because I had a person ask me about this the other day uh, when they were like, "Oh, would you ever get a MacBook?" And I was like, "For me, no." Just because of a whole list of reasons, mind you. But two ones that I will not probably ever get are things like a Mac or a Razer laptop, because of the upcharge for the brand. So that is one thing that I don't like. Like, I don't like paying more for the brand than anything else. Like, you can get equivalent PCs compared to a MacBook, for instance, for much cheaper than that. So that's my kind of thing of like why I probably wouldn't get it. Same thing with like Microsoft Surface. I would never buy a Surface simply because like you can see the different prices of them, and like I'm like, for this price I can get I can get a way better computer than what you're offering me at this price. So I don't like paying for the brand as opposed to what's inside of it. So that's first thing. M series I think is absolutely amazing if you're locked into the Apple ecosystem and if you are not a gamer. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, you can't deny it. The Apple devices work very well with each other. Just like Android works very well with Windows, Apple works very well with Apple. So it really is something that it's just like that is really a real true statement that like, okay, that is going to work better than it would otherwise, right? Oof. Oh man. I'll send you this link, guys, but this Raiju is way more expensive than I paid for it. I'm not sure if it's out of circulation now. Maybe it's an older one, so it's but I would try to look for either a used one or something like that, because this Razer is over $200 for that controller right now, and that is more than I paid for it. I think I paid like 150 for it or something like that. So yeah, way more expensive than I paid for it. So I do like it better. It for me, it's way better than a Keshi kind of thing. But yeah, that's just what I would say. Wait, is this the same thing? Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay, I feel like that's an add-on. All right. But yeah, those are the two controllers. Although again, I would look for another Razer one because that's way too expensive. Or at least in my opinion. All right. S23 is gonna be a jump. I definitely will because I will trade in my fold for it. But yeah, definitely gonna be one that I go to for sure. When Apple does switch from iPhone to USB Type C, the world will end, according to Ricky, due to never being able to seen before the amount of e-waste. The planet is doomed. No, so the planet will actually not have e-waste anymore in excess amounts, because what he's referring to is I've always said, and it's a true statement. Basically, Apple produces more e-waste than anyone else by having a lightning cable. That lightning cable, you can see how, look up how many lightning accessories does are made every year. It's well into the millions every single year, and those are essentially e-waste, because if Apple didn't make it, then if Apple didn't make phones that accepted that lightning cable, then they would all be Type C, and that would be used for every single device. And so it would be less cables out in the world, which creates more e-waste. It's a very simple concept that some people struggle to understand, but you have to kind of spell it out for them every time. So yeah, that is why, again, that Apple creates the most e-waste more than any other company, is because they have had a proprietary plug that millions of people buy this product, and that is why that there are millions upon millions made every single year, and they have caused the most e-waste to happen by far. So yeah, so that's it. So yes, there will be a huge reduction in e-waste because everyone will be moving to Type C. All Type C will be across the globe on phones, and considering that I don't know how many phones there are now in the world, but at least Apple contributes to at least over 100 million every single year. Still, probably is a good estimate. They don't report their phone sales anymore, so it's hard to tell. But basically, you're getting really a huge reduction in e-waste, which is awesome. So yeah. 3A seems like a good budget phone. Absolutely. Yeah, no. Pixel 3A was good. I don't know how much it would be now. But I mean the 4A was still really good. The 5A I liked as well. So yeah, I'm curious to see how Google keeps going, but I mean this 7A rumor is really interesting, to say the least. I think too, like I don't know if they'll be able to, but if I would make a suggestion to Google Pixel line, I would recommend this. Definitely. If they can have the 7A come out, right? Have the 7A come out, say if it's 450 or 500, have that come out, whatever price it is. And then keep the 6A and make it like 300 normal price. That would be perfect. That would be awesome to see. Like, keep both phones out. We've seen manufacturers like Samsung, like Apple, release multiple tier series and have one that's cheaper. So many years ago, we would have never thought you would see an Apple for $350 as a starting price, but Apple's done that. So it definitely exists now, right? So I think that's really the big thing, is that the more tiers you have, the better off you are. And I think if Pixel had, besides the one phone that's an A series every year, have one new and one old, but the old sticks around, is still in stores, but sells for then like 300, that would be awesome. But I don't know if they have the manufacturing capability to do that. So I think that's the biggest limit for them. All the A series are decent in my opinion. The A53 that I checked out earlier this year was really awesome. Unfortunately, I just never got to do videos for it because of the fact that was literally the time when I had just shut my studio down, moved this year, was on House Hunters. No. But yeah, but basically, when I was getting my house ready to sell, I had to shut down my studio. Was did not have the capability to record for a month or so, a month and a half, I think. Then once I got into the new place, took time to build the new studio. So yeah, all that stuff kind of delayed everything. So it was just a whole hodgepodge of things happening. But I did like that, once it was all said and done, was able to do a lot more. So now I should be able to do more videos. 2023 should be a much, much more productive year. I would say 2022 is probably one of the worst years for me productivity wise for my channel. And I thank you guys, to everyone that stuck around, because again, I do apologize for just the lack of videos that I did this year was probably more than any year I've had for a long time. And I do plan on changing that. I do plan on stepping up, and it is a different world for me. Obviously, this is a year when I had kids, moving, people got sick, all this kind of stuff happened, right? So it was for sure things that happened that got in the way, but I, for one, disappointed myself more than anything else, because I should have made more content, and that is my commitment to 2023. I'm going to partner with more people. I'm trying to find an agency right now to partner with, to find more deals for me, to kind of get it done quicker, so that way I can focus more so on just getting the videos made. And that's what I really kind of want to happen in 2023. And I have a lot of goals for 2023, so I definitely think I can do it. And yeah, I expect to do it. I'm challenging myself to put out more videos in 2023 of a higher quality than I have before. So yeah, definitely something that I'm trying to do. My wife found an old Galaxy Gear watch with a camera. Did you ever own one? Yes, there were two Gear watches with the camera, the Gear and Gear 2. Both of those had watches on them. Those were the only ones that ever did. By the time the Gear 3 came out, I think they got rid of it. Or was there a Gear 3? I think after the Gear, actually, I might be wrong on that. I think it was Gear 1, Gear 2, then the Gear S, and then S2, S3, S4. Or no, sorry, to the S3, and then they changed the name again to the Galaxy Watch series. So I want to say the Gear 1 and Gear 2 were the only ones with the camera. The Gear 1 had the camera on the actual watch band, and the Gear 2 had the camera on the actual watch itself. So those were the only two to ever have one. If I'm not mistaken, if I get my history right, I'm pretty sure it was the Gear 1, Gear 2, then Gear S, Gear S2, Gear S3, Galaxy Watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Or actually, no, one of them was Sport in there. But yeah, trying to remember all my Samsung trivia. So yeah. All right. So I did tell you guys I would let you guys know about the next mobile weeklies. So let me let you guys know. Let me pull up a calendar here. So there will be no mobile weekly next week. I do celebrate Christmas and gonna have the family over and all that kind of stuff. So there will be no mobile weekly next week. I might do like a YouTube short to wish everyone a Merry Christmas for those who celebrate it. So yeah, that's the extent of what I'm doing for next week. However, I will see you guys on the very first day of 2023 on January 1st. I will be doing one, so I will do one for you guys on that day before I leave for CES, because I'm leaving for CES on the 2nd of June. So I will be going away on the 2nd of June, and I will be coming back on the 8th, which is another Sunday. The 8th, I will not be doing it just because I'm going to be dead tired. CES is going to be a 7-day straight work week for me. So it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to hopefully put out a lot of content. I will be posting content on my channel and on Newegg's channel. So if you do want to see me everywhere, go subscribe to them as well, because I will be posting a lot of content on there. The biggest video, obviously, that went viral last year, which I got like 30 million views off of on Newegg, was the Amica video. I'm going to see if that robot is there again. If you missed that video, it was basically me talking to a robot, and I had a full conversation with an actual AI robot. It was a really cool, awesome stuff. So really cool for that aspect. But yeah, so that is going to be one thing that I'm doing. All right, now I will let you guys know. So again, next week, no Mobile Weekly. On the 1st, I will do a Mobile Weekly, and then on the 8th, I won't do a Mobile Weekly. So that's for the next 3 weeks. Just to let you guys know, and then we'll be back then on after. Hopefully, by the time that happens on the 15th of January, we'll already know about the new S23 announcement date, Unpacked. So hopefully that will be how it goes. But yeah, just kind of letting you guys know everything that is going to go down for the next 3 weeks. No Mobile Weekly next week. Mobile Weekly on the 1st, very first day of the year, and starting 2023 off with a bang. So yeah. Indeed, hope you you enjoy your Christmas break. I will. It's really nice that I will actually have like most of, not this week off, but next week I actually have mostly off of work, so that'll be nice. For me, I'm just going to use that to really kind of knock out a couple of the videos that I really wanted to and just kind of work on it and knock those out. So that's what my goal is to do on those days. And I hope to have a lot of videos for you guys over the next 2 weeks. I am literally recording one right after this, so I'm going to make sure to get that up and going to get a lot better off into editing all the projects that I have as well. All right, guys, I think we'll call that a day. Thank you guys so much for always tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully the ads weren't so bad. And again, sorry for that. I'll try to fix that for next week. But yeah, thank you guys so much as always for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in 2 weeks on January 1st. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next year.